As the legislature approaches the halfway point, lawmakers have made little progress on solving Oklahoma's budget crisis. If the legislature is unable to find new revenue streams to help fill a $1.3 billion hole, it could mean more deep cuts to state agencies, which are already struggling to provide services to Oklahomans.
On the first day of the legislative session, Governor Mary Fallin laid out the fiscal challenges lawmakers faced. A steep drop in oil prices have contributed to budget problems, which arose after several years of income tax cuts and increased tax breaks for business. To address the crisis, the governor has proposed removing tax exemptions from some service industries and increasing the state cigarette tax, ideas which have gained little traction in the legislature. The governor also repeated a call to find a way to recover taxes from business conducted over the internet.
We all know that cities and states are losing out on the sales tax revenue each year as more business is conducted online.
A Supreme Court ruling says, barring an act of Congress, states can only require a company to collect taxes if a vendor has a nexus of business or a physical presence within the state. Both the House and Senate have passed bills attempting to address the issue. State Representative Chad Caldwell says his measure, House Bill 2531, broadens the definition of what constitutes a physical presence to include businesses that maintain relationships with Oklahoma businesses or individuals.
Maybe it's for distribution, maybe it is for maintenance, warranty work, installation, those kind of things. Those would be taxed because now you're saying that they do have a place of business. Through their official relationships that they have with the company in Oklahoma, they have created a place doing business in the state of Oklahoma, and so that's going to be taxed.
Caldwell believes the effort to recover those taxes is worthwhile. A recent study by Civic Economics shows Oklahoma loses $45 million in sales tax revenue each year just to online retailer Amazon. Another study by the National Conference of State Legislatures shows that in 2012, Oklahoma lost nearly $300 million in taxes on out-of-state sales.
When you take a look at the local and county revenue that can be generated as well, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that will be brought back into Oklahoma, and those are going to go to things that are going to help take care of our education system, roads and bridges, health care.
The House approved the bill by the bare minimum of votes needed for passage, but House Minority Leader Scott Inman doubts it will make a difference without a change in federal law.
And so even if this bill passes, if those in charge think that we're somehow going to bring in lots of new money by taxing people who buy stuff at Amazon and other internet outlets, they're fooling themselves, because at the end of the day, this solution resides in Washington.
State Senator John Ford agrees federal law will still have to be changed.
So all we can do is make sure that we are prepared so that day one we can collect the taxes due Oklahoma.
Ford is the author of Senate Bill 1251, which would levy a 4.5% sales or excise tax on internet sales. Ford says the bill is not intended to discourage online sales.
I sometimes use Amazon for convenience. It's an easy way to shop. But if I'm doing that, or if any citizen is doing that, you need to pay the taxes because it is the law that you owe it.
Caldwell says Oklahoma's current budget crisis has made lawmakers more willing to listen to ideas to increase revenue, although he admits it won't do anything to help state agencies which have already seen their budgets cut by an additional 7% during the current fiscal year.
It will certainly help us going forward. It's not going to help us, we've had a couple of revenue failures already for last year's budget. It certainly won't help us with that. But anytime we're talking about the ability to collect additional revenues, that will start to be able to pay immediate impact and immediate dividends to our budgets going forward.
But Inman maintains it would be a mistake to focus on things like internet sales, cigarette taxes, and tax exemptions.
When we're done here at the end of the session, if those are their three options, if they don't focus on the real problems, as I mentioned earlier, if the only three options to raise revenue are haircut sales taxes, internet sales taxes, and a sales tax on cigarettes, none of those are going to go anywhere in the legislature, and we're going to still have a $1.3 billion hole.